FOTL. Whew, 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 whew. Just ask for it. Trap dreams for a richer million. I ain't even have to trap for it. Blue benches, yo, not skinny like you walk around with a passport. Circle small, but we jump for it like a punt return or a tie score. Brookwood, Zach Shackelford. I'm the one who they room for.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? Man, this is Dr. Coach A. Again, thank you for joining me. One Life to Live. That's the podcast. Dr. Coach A is my name. For those of you that don't know, you can find me on Twitter at One Life to Live. Again, that is the number 1, LYF, the number 2, LIV, and then the number 3. Or you can find me at Dr. Coach A, which again, Dr. Coach, letter A. And the same thing on Instagram. You can find me Dr. Coach A on Instagram. But thank you. Thank you again for jumping in, joining me, listening to me, watching me on this podcast. Today, I want to talk about what is the direction of high school coaching. Woo. Had to take a sip of my Kool-Aid on that one. So, these are my views. These are my thoughts. You might agree, you might disagree. I'm okay with that. If you disagree, you can let me know. If you want to talk about it, we can sit down, have an open discussion. You could tell me your personal views and thoughts and opinions and all that good stuff. However, this is how I feel. Hopefully it don't tick too many people off, piss too many people off. Hopefully you can see my point of view and understand where I'm coming from with regards to what I feel like the direction of high school coaching is going in or has become. And then we can kind of, look at things from that perspective. So, what is the direction of high school coaching? Man, yikes. That's a tough question for real. I'll say this. There are some missing aspects now with regards to what high school coaching was back in the day and to, what it is becoming now. And when I say that, I what I mean is if you were to take a poll or if you were to go ask your current head coach that you work for and you say, yo, who was some of your mentors when you got started? Guys will sit back and they'll throw you a couple names, right? Guys will say, I got into it because of this, and then this person gave me an opportunity, and then I learned everything from this person, that person, and kind of give you that tree from which they coming from. And I think that's great. I think that's such a cool aspect to the stories of so many coaches. However, I think we're starting to lose a lot of those mentors. And because of that, you're losing a lot of, what was once key parts and components of the game. Not saying good or bad, just saying what's happening. And so when you look at that, you got to ask now if coaches are mentors, like who are the coaches now? Right. But again, a lot of the coaches now are coaches in the game from mentors. They didn't have mentors. I'm pretty sure they could say, this person got me in because of this, or, I got really, really interested in learning the game. And so such and such gave me an opportunity or a chance to be a part of something. And from there, everything just took off. So looking at it right now, you got a lot of people that are coaching that, aren't teachers. Whereas usually when you get in that high school realm of things, you got teachers who are also coaches. But that's not always the case anymore because you're getting lay coaches that are coming in. And, sometimes those lay coaches are former players within that program or community. You're seeing where, you're looking at your feed and you got such and such NFL player or such and such guy that was, at a college and a big time name. And now they are in some of these coaching roles. And again, I'm saluting those people. I'm not taking shots at anybody. I'm just pointing out who's doing what now. You also get the same thing where again you got these trainers that are getting jobs, and I'm saluting everybody. I just want to point out who are coaches now. But you got trainers that are, at your local 7-on-7 group that are now getting offensive coordinator jobs, that are coming in coaching position groups and doing things like that, which is great. But what is happening in the world of coaching? And when I say that, I think you've got to start to look at how kids are maneuvering and how parents are affecting the game and how parents and kids can be affecting certain teams. And so when you start to break that down from a coaching standpoint, sometimes if you see a coach move, you see a player move. Sometimes you see players follow coaches. And again, I'm not pointing that out as a bad thing. I think if Joe Blow coaches over here, and he does such a great job that when he decides to leave and take another job, that those kids and those parents that thought Joe Blow was doing such a great job decide we're going to take our kids and go over there. I don't see a lot wrong with that. I think that can be such a great thing because we are in this business to be leaders, to be impactful, and to do it at a positive way and in a positive manner. Right. And so if you're creating that narrative and that is what it's all about, and it's simply, my kids are getting such a great learning so much and getting such great opportunities from this person or from that organization, that group. Like, why would I want to separate myself from that? You know? And so I think from that standpoint, as you look at, again, what exactly is happening, I think right now you're seeing a lot of that happening. So as we dial back a little bit, because I want to talk about, what exactly it's looking like, but not just that. When you talk about what it looks like, who exactly are the mentors? I take it upon myself to always look out for anybody that is reaching out to me. And what I mean by look out for, I mean, like, if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you some game. Right. And I think there are people who are near me and around me that can attest to that and say, yeah, man, I can ask him about XYZ and he'll tell me XYZ. I can ask him about, you know, why did you like to send this pressure, or why do you choose to play inside leverage as opposed to outside leverage? Why you only teach your kids a speed release as opposed to, foot firing off the line of scrimmage? Like, I'm gonna give you my answer to that. And I think because of that, there are people that feel comfortable coming to ask me for advice, feel comfortable coming to ask me my opinion on these things, right? Whereas I don't think that's always the case for a lot of people, right? I know for me, I got a nice network of people that I can lean on and ask questions, and even people that I don't necessarily know firsthand. I know somebody that know them, but whenever I've asked them a question, they've been like, "Yeah, man, let's set something up. You can come by, talk to me. We can sit down and go over everything." And I can name a few people that have been that way for me. Um, and it could have been just simply because they knew who I knew, and they knew if I said, "Hey, man, he told me no, he told me he couldn't give me that information," that person would then reach out to them almost like, some big brother type stuff, like, "Come on, man, hook my guy up," you know. But I don't know or can't say that that is the case for everybody. But for me, I've got mentors. I got older guys that are around me. I've got older guys that I know, to where when I need something, I can make a phone call and I can get an answer, or I can get a response of some sort, to where even if they don't have the answer, they can say, well, let me get you in touch with this person. And because of that, I think mentors are super important in this game. I think mentors are so important with regards to high school coaching because a lot of what we see happening goes away from, as we would say, the old school model of doing things. But we all know everything comes back around at some point in time. So the mentors, we as older coaches, we as people already with our foot in the door, have to do a great job of sticking their hand out and pulling somebody in with us. And even if we're not going to pull somebody up with us, we got to make sure that the ones around us understand the steps it takes to get to, where we are or where they're trying to be. Even if we don't necessarily know all the steps, we can lead people in the right direction. So mentors, again, have to be big pieces in this, right? So when we talk about what it's looking like, mentors are disappearing. Mentors are mentors aren't necessarily readily available. Sometimes it might be that 7-on-7 guy that's trying to, hey man, I just want to learn ball, man. I just want to talk about XYZ. And we brushing them off because they taking our kid away from us for a week or two, or that kid can't go to track practice because they gotta go to 7-on-7, whatever it is, so be it. You know. However, if our kid ain't nowhere getting in trouble, I think that should be the bottom line in them situations, right? So then we get to also, teachers in the building. Like I said, we moved away from that a little bit. Everybody as a coach ain't always in the building. And I know in some places that is a downside because if your teacher's not in the building, who's going to help hold certain kids accountable? Who's going to come in and recruit the kids in the building? Because there's some big schools here in Georgia, right? And in some of them schools, you got to be able to go find them kids that are in the FFA programs, right? Go find that basketball player and be like, yo, my man, why you ain't playing football? Go find the track kid who's, fast, or the kid that just won state in the shot and disc and be like, yo, how come you ain't playing linebacker, big fella? Come try some of this out. Come see if you can run the ball. You got to have them guys in the building because they got to be able to recruit the kids. Not saying, again, a downside to not having those. However, we can see it because I just pointed some reasons out. So you got to have teachers in the building. And even though some places are leaning towards, more lay coaches, more outside coaches coming in to coach, them coaches that's in that building, man, they better be some dogs when it comes to recruiting that building, or you're going to miss out on a lot of kids. And you might look at it, well, the kids missing out on football. No, we in this business to change lives, to be positive influences, to make an impact, to have an impact. And if we see, it's 15, 20 kids that miss that boat on playing football, they might have missed that boat on a free education. They might have missed that boat on some life lessons going throughout, playing your sport. And it don't have to just be football. I use football a lot because that's what I coach. Like I said, it could be track. If you don't have track coaches in the building, and meanwhile you got a kid that just rushed for 3,000 yards, or caught 1,000 yards the last 2 years, receiving, and he ain't in the building recruiting them kids, trying to get them to run track, trying to get them to help them better, now your track team's gonna suffer, right? I'm in that South Georgia old school mindset though of kids play football, kids run track, run track, play football, and then you find them ones that can do some other stuff, and you sharing them in them seasons. But again, if your coach ain't in the building, you can't recruit. Makes it a little difficult, right? But being a teacher, you got to go, of course, get the certifications and do all that stuff. So the whole teacher coach thing, I get it, man. You can make more money doing something else. You can make more money being a content creator, and if you get really good at it, right? You can make more money selling cars in a day, or selling insurance, all that good stuff to feed your family. And I get it. I'm in a rare situation where, again, I'm a doctor, so I've got the doctor in front of my name, and that doctorate title, so my pay get pushed up just a little bit more than the average person with a bachelor's or a master's degree, right? But I get it. There are other ways to feed your family. There are other ways to go about doing things. More ways to skin a cat than one, right? So the teacher coach thing is sliding out just a little bit. So that makes it a little bit difficult, right? To be able to go in and recruit the halls because, hey man, if I can make more money doing this, by all means, I get it. Go take care of your family, go take care of yourself. It's important to take vacations and take breaks, and your wives appreciate it. I said wives plural, your wife and your children appreciate it, right? So I understand that. But again, it's a lot of programs who are relying on those community coaches, and it's a super important part of the game. If you can get community coaches in your program, my advice for everybody for any program is to take advantage of it. If you can't get community coaches, yikes, right? Like, go find some community coaches, get them involved. It's important, you know. um the community coaches are the people that can tie you into, as we said, the community. I did part of my research was, what is holding kids in playing sports, and specifically, high school sports. And it was that connection between the community and the school. So I wholeheartedly understand the community coaches. I wholeheartedly understand, reaching back out into the community and diving in and making sure the community stays involved, right? Get them involved in your fundraisers, get your community involved in dang near everything you do. But if all your coaches don't live in the community, you got to rely on the ones who do. And if you look at certain programs, you look at here in Georgia, where you get a lot of coaches that might be 15, 20 minutes from the school. So if you're 15, 20 minutes from the school, you're probably in another city. That's just the way it is, especially if you can jump on one of the highways that are local. You could be wherever you want to be in 30 minutes. So very, very key to be connected to your community, right? But with that being said, what do we see happening? What do you see happening in the high school world of coaching? In particular, what do I see happening in the high school world of coaching? And it's simple that coaches are becoming harder to find. Why are coaches becoming harder to find? I mean, it's a lot of different reasons. Like I said, if you got to be a teacher to coach, man, everybody don't want to deal with kids, right? If you got to be a teacher to coach, everybody don't want to make whatever that sum of money is to go do that. So with a lot of people, it makes more sense. Why not? Why not go work at the bank? Why not go work the other job? They gonna let me get off early, you know. Some jobs you entrepreneurs or whatever, and you setting your own hours, right? So you make it to practice, you make it to all the games, you make it to the film study, you make it to all the meetings. So why would I sacrifice my wallet to do that? So again, coaches are becoming harder and harder to find. And it's not just coaches, it's good coaches, right? It's really good coaches who might be leaving the game or who have left the game because selling insurance, and I'm dealing with people who want me there versus dealing with a mom who mad because little Billy Bob or little Pookie didn't play as much as mom thought they was gonna play. Just saying, right? Sometimes it's the parents who making it hard to keep the coaches. right? Because you get parents with egos, you get kids with egos. It's a whole lot of that happening right now, right? And I'm just talking about high school. I ain't gonna dive into no other area, just high school. Because if we're talking about why people are leaving the game, you talk about why people are deciding to go elsewhere. I could get a headache sitting at McDonald's listening to customers complain to the cashier or to, the cook in the back. I can get a headache at the shoe store listening to the lady who mad because the checkout line is long. Right? Now imagine you a community coach or you a teacher and you coach and you gotta listen to how come my son ain't playing? How come this fee is so high? One of the best things I ever heard with regards to the parents and coaching is all parents want. And this is, let's just say, basketball. All parents want is the 4 best kids and their kid. Does that make sense? The 4 best kids and their kid. And then football wise, right? They want the 10 best and their child. So as long as they child in that mix, they okay. But the second their child is not in that mix, now we got issues, right? So that makes it difficult, man. Imagine you've been at work and you've been teaching Lil Pookie Algebra 1 all day, right? So Lil Pookie been struggling with Algebra 1. And Lil Pookie can't tell you how much a dime is or a nickel is or a quarter is. And now I go down and I done gave Lil Pookie our playbook. And Lil Pookie don't remember that on power, he's my guard and he's got a pull. Right? Lil Pookie don't remember that on zone, he's down blocking whichever way the zone is going, right? However, it's all my fault as the coach. It's all my fault. Lil Pookie can't tell me 10 cents, 5 cents, a quarter, a nickel, a dime, right? But I've got to teach Pookie how to down block. Scary. Imagine a community coach. Now he been building houses all morning. He finally get off. And now Man supposed to run a 5-yard out. But Man keep running 10 yards. And you mad at him for not starting Man. I'm just saying, parents. I'm just saying. It's hard. Sometimes we look at our kids through what we call rose-colored glasses, through them rose goggles, rose lenses. And my baby. Sometimes we're gonna have to be realistic. We better start being realistic when at early ages. I told my son the other day, my man, listen, it's gonna be hard. I want you to be successful. I want you to also know it's gonna be hard. So every time you tell me I can't, I'm gonna tell you you can. I'm gonna tell you we don't say can't in this house. But at some point, we gonna have that realization that, look, my man, you probably can't do something. It just is what it is. So parents, again, I get it. We all want the best for our children. However, parents, you make it hard. You can make it hard. I salute the loving parents, the caring parents, the ones that are there, that are supportive, right? You're supportive and you're hard on us because you want your child to be successful. I get it. I do. I'm telling you, I get it. I want your child to be successful too. Because the more they understand, the better they are, the better I look as a coach. However, that's not always the case, right? Everybody ain't cut out for it. I wish, like somebody told me, I could take every kid's parent to a college Division I locker room right after the game. Just take them into the shower area, let you stand around and look and compare your child to that. because it's a different animal. It's a different monster. But everybody want to be there. You know, if you've never met an NFL player, you don't understand what they are. If you've never met a professional basketball player, you don't understand what they are and what they look like because you don't see the extra work, the extra stuff they put in. So parents, be easy on us. We get it. Trust me, we get it, right? We want them to be good too, right? Another piece of what we got going on, right? Money. As I said, money, NILs, all that stuff's coming about. Oh yeah, it's out there. I don't know a lot about the NILs. I don't know a lot about kids getting paid and getting deals. And this is happening right now in front of my eyes. I see kids with deals. I know kids with deals. However, I don't have to manage it. I'm not a head coach. I'm not sitting there in that seat having that conversation. But it's happening. It's happening. It's in front of everybody. You as a parent, you might want your child to be one of those kids. If they not top upper echelon, it ain't gonna happen. But it's definitely a thing, right? You got the 7-on-7 stuff, where again, the kids balling at a certain 7-on-7, that coach is calling plays. He's the OC at some other school. Your child is very successful under their tutelage. They probably gonna jump ship. They're gonna leave that high school, that program, and they're gonna go over there where they think they're gonna be more successful. That's the thing. It's happening. It's happening everywhere. It's not a Georgia thing. It's not a Florida thing. It's not a Cali thing. It's high school ball. It's basketball. Right? It's AAU. People get mad all the time. Blame LeBron James because of the jumping ship. No. Nah, that ain't LeBron. That wasn't the Miami trip. As much as we want to blame it, that was not the Miami trip. No, that's been happening for a long time. That has been, I think I'm going to be more successful playing with them guys. I was playing with those guys at this age group, but my mama made me go to this high school. So now I convinced my mama to let me go over there. Right? You see it, you know. I'm not making this up. I wish I could make this up. I wish it was this grand idea that I just came up with. And now I can go out and be like, hey, man, all y'all should team up. Come on over here. But it's been happening. Right. And it's not just the 7-on-7. It's not just, again, connecting with trainers. These kids are going to camps. These kids are going to camps and recognized game. They see who the best guy is. Wide receivers are at camps looking at that quarterback can't throw the ball and we about to go to the same high school. I probably need to make a business decision. Right. They see that. If I'm looking right now, well, let's rewind. If I'm looking and I'm at a camp, Nike camp, Under Armour camp, whatever camp, and I look at that, let's just say it's 2-3 years ago, and you got the Lewis kid down in Carrollton. If I'm at a camp and I see him spin the ball, I'm probably going to ask my parents, you think we can make that happen? Right? Like you'd be naive not to want to do that. You'd be naive not to want to go be with the best player. Right? Not saying go jump on ship with the best coaches, but you see it. You see that's what's happening in sports. You see that's what's happening in high school. You see that's what's happening in basketball, baseball, all the team sports. Because kids are realizing, I can't do this by myself. This ain't no one-man show. Right? It used to be, even in basketball, where you got two kids that's really good. You can go deep, make a run, possibly win a state championship. Not no more. Every team got 2-3 good players. right? And it's the same thing in football. Every team's got 2 or 3 good players. Who's going to have 15? Right? Who's going to have a solid 22? And then somebody get hurt. Dang, now we down to 21. You see what I'm saying? So the kids ain't stupid. The kids are making parents are making business decisions with regards to what their kids are doing, with regards to how can I help my son get the best out of what we're going through. Like I said, you got the NILs where kids are making money. You got the 7-on-7 and the trainers where kids are following them. And you got the camps where kids are going to camps and recruiting each other. That's the best method. If I could tell my best player, hey man, such and such camp this weekend, go see who you can find. It's going to take all the BS off of me because I didn't go recruit nobody. But kids want to play with good kids. Kids want to surround themselves with the best. It's as simple as that, right? But again, that's me putting it on the kids, taking it out of the hands of the trainers and the 7-on-7 coaches or the coaches who are in your building that are doing it. But it's going to happen. We all know it's happening. You with it, you against it. I'm not one of them guys that's going to hit a kid in a DM and say, yo, let's go do XYZ. Yo, man, we need to do such and such. Nah, I'm not that guy. That's not my thing. No, I can't be the one to do it. I can't go make a call and DM a kid and say all that stuff. Right? Just not me. Now, when COVID hit and there was some kids that weren't playing, I say, oh, we still playing ball over here. And you can take that how you want to take it. We still playing. Your county might have shut it down. Our county did not. So if your family decides to make that decision and move, there you go. Right? I've seen some coaches get some bad reps because what they were doing, and kids see it, and they want to be a part of it. That ain't my fault. That ain't that person's fault that the kids see that y'all are doing some good stuff and want to be a part of it. Right? Kids see the new Jordans and they all want them. Kids see a rapper wear a certain thing. They all want to wear that outfit. Kids see kids get scholarships. They want to be over there getting scholarships. Kids see a team look good. They want to look good. That ain't nothing new, outrageous, nothing crazy. That is what it is. It's the way of the world. It's not the old days anymore. You know, I hate to say that, where kids are sitting in a what do you call it, a feeder system, a rec department, and growing up, and they all play together and they all learn the system, running the same plays from 8 till they graduate high school. And then when they get to high school, they master these plays. Now they add new nuances to the play, and now they can adjust it to when they're playing a 3-man front or a 4-man front, or if you want to come down and get in, you know, your 52s, now they can adjust and play from there, right? This is not rocket science. Kids want to be a part of what they feel is something special. So how can we blame the kids for wanting to be a part of something special? But again, we're talking about direction of high school coaching. That's a part of it. That's a part of what we're having to deal with right now. Good, bad, like it, and a little bit indifferent about it. I again see the positives. I see the negatives. I see the BS in it. I'm with you. However, it's there. So I'm going to talk about it. That's what I see. Right? So where can we improve? Right? What can we keep doing to make things better as coaches? Because I'm in that seat. I'm a coach. Right? What can we do? Number one is you better make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. And when you surround yourself with them, you better be mentoring to them. You better be teaching them the game. Right? The young coaches, find some old coaches. And I'm saying old because I'm 37. I've been doing this for 13 years. Find some older guys that are willing to give you game. They're willing to give you advice, willing to say, hey man, chill out. Don't wear your do-rag to practice. See them people up there, they looking at that, right? Hey man, pull your pants up. We don't go to meetings like that. You see what I'm saying? So, but find those people. Surround yourself with those people. If that's what you've been doing, if that's what you are doing, keep doing it. Trust me, it's young coaches, it's people like me that continue to ask questions, that continue to reach out, that continue to hear yes way more than I hear no. So it's appreciated. It's a beautiful thing. If it's not happening, just imagine if you think things are bad now and the guys who've been doing it the right way for a long time stop giving advice, imagine how bad it's going to be 10 years. I mean, you've seen how much has changed in the last 5 years, right? I stopped playing high school ball, I graduated in 06. I've seen how much has changed from 06 to when I started coaching. And then from when I started coaching in 2012 to right now, how much has changed. Mentors, keep mentoring. Guys that like helping, keep helping, right? It's a part of what it is, right? And then another thing is make sure we're hiring young guys. I'm 37, man. I don't want to run and be the pursuit guy no more, right? If you're an old guy, you don't want to keep doing that. The kids are gonna mess it up when you find kids, right? It's just certain things that young guys are able to do. There's a certain energy that younger guys will bring to your locker room, right? To your programs that's needed. Kids want to look out and see somebody that look like them. Somebody that's older than them, but not too old, right? I'm still in that age where I think kids still look at me like being a little cool. Maybe I like to think I'm still at that age. I'll just say that, right? But either way it goes, like you gotta have some young guys around. You gotta have young guys on your staff, and you gotta teach them, right? When I first got started, we were having to do things still like paint the field. And if you've never painted a football field, you missed out. Because being out there, painting that field, and it's 10 coaches, however many coaches you got on staff, and everybody cracking jokes, everybody got old shoes on, everybody getting paint on, whatever, your hands, your clothes, them new shoes you wore that nobody told you shouldn't have wore those shoes to paint this field, and now you done messed them up. Right? It's that bonding stuff, right? You gotta go through that. You gotta take them young coaches on the retreat and then make him run to the store, right? Do all the little hazing stuff without hazing, if you know what I mean. But you gotta get the young coaches. You gotta have young coaches, and it's still a young man's game. We're older, you know. If some head coaches out there in their 50s, some head coaches are 60, some head coaches are young, where they in their 20s, right? Early 30s. However, it's still a young man's game. And when I say it's a young man game, we talking about we got to be able to connect to high school kids. We got to be able to connect to kids. I could imagine right now trying to use some of the lingo my coaches was trying to teach me with in 05, 06. Right now, it won't work. Kids don't understand it, right? Young coaches can bridge that gap a little bit, make the locker room cool. Nah, coach, you don't need to put that Jeezy on there. Kids ain't listening to that no more. They listen to this, right? Young coaches got to be able to do that, right? And then we got to make sure we're helping guys level up. What do I mean by level up? All right, look, if I hire a really good ninth grade coach, and he's a really good ninth grade coach, and he's proven that he's a really good ninth grade coach, why am I leaving him on the ninth grade level? Does that make sense? If that guy has done an amazing job of prepping those linebackers. Every year when they come in from the 8th grade on that 9th grade level to the point where every year I can dang near play a sophomore. Why would I not level the guy up? Why won't I give him a boost? Right? And then when you get assistants, now you got an assistant. Eventually, maybe he becomes a defensive coordinator. Maybe that guy goes out and gets a head coaching job, right? So we got to make sure we're helping guys level up. We got to make sure we're helping guys get promotions, right? When you had a good program, you're going to lose good coaches. That's just a part of it. I remember interviewing at Grayson, and the person interviewing me was like, yeah, man, you come work here for a year. You can go anywhere and be a defensive coordinator. They'll take you just because you got that behind you. Wait, what? You mean that's all I need is a name behind me and people will, okay. But it's not that way at every program. So again, mentors, coaches, you got to help guys level up. If I know I've got this really good mind offensively, why would I just hold him as an assistant, whatever coach? And why not make him a coordinator at some point? You know, one of the cool things I learned recently, being at a program, one of the premier programs in the state, is that there's a pecking order, right? They already got the guy next in line who's going to be the offensive coordinator. They already got the guy next in line who's going to be the defensive coordinator. Wait, what? I know I got more experience than that guy, but he's already next in line? Like, that's how this works. Yes. That's what it's about. That's how you're helping guys, again, level up. Help people, right? We in this business to help the kids. It don't stop with the kids. It should keep going with the adults. So again, direction of high school coaching. Help the coaches too. The kids want to get to college. We got to help them get to college. That coach want to be an OC. We got to help him be OC. That coach want to be a strength and conditioning coordinator. Well, he need to be sitting down with our current strength and conditioning coordinator. They need to be talking, bumping heads, rubbing shoulders, whatever you want to call it, right? There should be some friction in the room sometimes because everybody's idea ain't the right idea. So you got to help guys. That's a big piece of it, right? And get guys in the business. Get guys in the building, right? I was talking to a younger coach, younger guy, and he was telling me about, yo, man, I think I want to do this for a long time. I think I really want to be a part of this for a long time, but I know I can't do it if I keep doing my day job. He was a community coach. I can't do it if I keep doing my day job. Well, let me help you, bro. Look, this is all you need. This county's got this program. That county's got this program. The state of Georgia's got this. If you're willing to go through it, I'll help you with the steps, right? I can help you do that. Now it gets you in the building. What I say earlier, you want to have coaches in the building. If you don't got coaches in the building, who going to recruit your hallways? The hallway is more important than dang near anything because you're going to find some jewels, some talent in there, right? But we got to, again, keep helping guys. What is the process for getting guys in the business? Know it, share it, promote guys, right? You see some high school programs where they not sending guys to other high schools. No, they damn good. So they sending guys to college. What's the process? Help them out, right? What's the direction of high school coaching? We're helping each other. This high school coaching is a network. Get a network. You better have a network to survive, the longevity, to understand. It's the network. And then alumni, right? You better use them. If you got former whatever, Marine, former NFL guy, former NBA guy, if they could just come back one day and talk. Now the kids see that. It does a lot. You get one picture, put it in the newspaper. Oh my God, I remember he played there. I want to go back now and watch a game just because he went back. alumni. Use them. Get them back. It's simple. You can come up with ideas to get the community involved. You can find ways to find old players. Get them involved. Keep them involved. Keep them around. It's going to make a ton of a difference in your program. It's going to make a difference in the community. It makes a difference with the kids. But all alumni ain't good alumni. All alumni don't even want to come back. But if you open a door, you extend the hand, sometimes it changes things, right? Kids need to see the good and the bad. Kids need to see all angles of what this looks like. So if you can find some of those alumni and bring them back, they got stories to tell. It might change their life again, right? But you gotta use it. You gotta take advantage of it. So what's the direction I want to see? I think you just got to think about how you are helping the game move forward. How can I help the game move forward? What am I doing on my end to help the game move forward? Like I said, I'm mentoring. I'm giving every bit of advice that I have. I'm using this platform to give advice, right? I'm trying to drop some jewels. Maybe you ain't using your alumni the way you thought you could. Hit me up. I could give you some examples of some ways to get back at them, right? Basketball games, flag football, kickball tournaments, whatever you want to do. It don't have to be stuff where they're doing that. Have some type of, community night. Get them in. That's what high school coaching is. Communities, right? Now, what effect is that going to have years from now? That's the piece you got to think about, right? You start thinking about the direction you want to see. What are you doing now that's going to have some effect 10 years from now? Because I give a lot of advice. I think that's just, again, part of what we do. I teach kids how to do XYZ, teach you how to get open, teach you how to catch the ball, taught kids how to play press coverage, how to play off man. But what else are we giving these kids? What else are we doing to change the game? What else are we doing to help coaching? Like I said, mentors, old heads, young coaches, trainers, 7-on-7 guys. Stay connected. Think about that. What's really happening with what we're doing, right? Think of it this way. If you're working with a kid right now, and in that kid's mind, he's thinking, bro, I ain't never coming back here. We ain't doing a good job. But if you're working with a kid and that kid goes, yeah, bro, I can't wait to come back. I can't wait to see this program. I can't wait to see how things are changing or growing or how much different things are going to be in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? That's what we got to think about. The effects of what we're doing. And then also, what can we do different? If we have issues with the trainers, the NIL stuff, well, think of ways to use it to your benefit. Every trainer ain't a bad trainer. Every 7-on-7 guy ain't a bad 7-on-7 guy. My only issue with 7-on-7 is that it happens during track season, and now I can't get all the kids that I know should be running track to run track. That's it. Other than that, man, if I had the time, I would go coach 7-on-7. I think it's beautiful. Again, I think when done the right way, everything can be done well. When done the right way, everything can be beneficial, right? So you got to find ways to take advantage of all that stuff. Don't use people, right? But see the benefits of what that does and what that is and help enhance it, help move it forward, right? If your 7-on-7 is keeping all your football players out of trouble, all of them, not one kid on that that participated in that 7-on-7 got a write-up, got in any type of trouble. What's your issue with the 7-on-7? See what I'm saying? So use it to your advantage. They building relationships. Get their ass on board. Hey, man, I don't know what you're doing, but I like it. I respect it. I appreciate it. Right? And again, all that's doing is building relationships. building relationships. And if it's not appropriate, cut it off. Right? Let your parents know, hey man, this is what's happening. This kid is doing this. It's wasn't happening before. Now it could be some kids immature, stupidity, all that good stuff. However, we got to be able to address it. So again, if it's appropriate, let it roll. If it's not appropriate, you got to cut it off. But things are changing. And they say you got to get with it and learn to adapt, which is what I choose to do, is I adapt to it, right? I look for the good and I also pay attention to the bad. Because if I know that snake bite people, I'm not going to stick my hand in there to see if it's going to bite me. No, I know, right? Same thing. Right? You can't look at somebody with a flaw and expect that flaw not show up when they deal with you. No, if he's still, I know he's still. It's only a matter of time. I'm next. Right? But again, high school sports, high school coaching, the direction that it's going in. If you want to see it go in a certain direction, you got to do your job and influence it. If not, and you just let things happen within your program, it's all going to spill over. Right? So you got to take the time to do the things and teach the things the way that you want to see things be done. Right? So that's my spiel. That's how I feel about the direction of high school sports. That's how I feel about the way things are going. I appreciate you for listening in. I appreciate you for hearing my thoughts and accepting my thoughts as they are. Again, I am Dr. Coach A. You can find me on Twitter or X, as they call it, at 1, that's the number 1, Life, LYF, the number 2, Live, LIV, the number 3, or at Dr. Coach A on X and on Instagram. I appreciate you joining in. I'll see you next time.
Fotiel.